friends. This is the Be Real Babe podcast, a place where your average Canadian wolfpack come together to talk about life stresses, messes, and successes. Each week, we will bring you new episodes sharing our experiences on a ton of different topics in hopes that we get a better understanding of ourselves, each other, and this crazy world we live in. We want to build a community where we can show up as ourselves, be real, and lay it all out there. By sharing our experiences, we hope to reach others who can relate so we can all help each other learn, grow, and heal. But please keep in mind, as a disclaimer, none of us here are professionals, no one is giving any advice. We are strictly speaking of our life experiences and for entertainment purposes only. Now, with that being said, it's time. So grab your drink, grab your joint, and let's jump right in. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Be Real Babe podcast. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for stopping by our show. And if you're a returning guest, we just love you. Thank you for coming back and giving us support. For those that don't know me, my name is Brandy. I am your host of this crazy wild show. And today I have my beautiful co-host, Kayla. Sup, girl, sup?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm very excited all the time. I say it, everyone hears me say it. I'm just always excited to get together and have a conversation and spread some awareness or change someone's life.
Yeah, it's so great. And I feel like we were just saying before we jumped on that it's been a while since we've done this because we've had so many amazing guests come on and more interest as we grow. And we just really cannot thank you guys enough for that. I spend probably about 5 to 6 hours a week at this point interviewing people on the show. And it's just incredible. And today I was like, oh yeah, shit, it's about me. It's about you. It's about me. Oh yeah, I love these ones. These ones are really easy for me.
These are fun. No, they're all fun. It's just, yeah, I know what you mean. It's been awesome. Like just getting connected, and I love it. I'm always so excited and just grateful for the show.
Me too. And so, guys, we're on episode 18. We are all wrapped up. The kind of like Women's Reproductive Health Month we had there. Obviously, we know that deserves much more attention down the road, but we hope you took a lot away from that. And now we're going to kind of jump into the fitness world. Again, guys, we're really just starting with topics that me and Kayla have the most experiences in and the things that we're seeing not talked about enough. So, again, we're going to jump into body image in this episode 18, kind of more in the fitness space. You guys obviously would hear a little bit more in episode 3 of me and Kayla about our body image, as well as our guests in episode 4. But this one, we're going to kind of talk about this more in the fitness industry kind of space. It's kind of super important, especially right now with the pandemic, and most of lives are online, and that's all we're seeing. We need to bring some realities and some truths into the world, because it's really easy to get caught up in that comparison and what you see as a highlight reel to be reality. And I know for myself, I've really struggled through that this year, even though I felt like I was doing the best. 2021 came, I was like, girl, buckle up, bitch.
Right? No, I hear you on that. It's been intense, and I think like everybody having to pause and restructure and regroup how they go about their day-to-day lives has made it's impacted everybody. But to see, the fitness industry, they took a hit too in that way, and it was interesting to see how everyone adapted. And I think for the better part, I feel like I would like, I really feel that this is the truth, but I hope I might be just full of shit. But I feel like a lot of people grew this last, not being able to go to the gym really humbled a lot of people. It was like, it's not all about that. Like, what are you going to do if that ever gets taken away? And I feel like in some way or another that happened to everybody, and they just had to like adapt. And so I feel, I don't know. I just feel like a lot of people did change, but it's still something that, there is a lot of, I'm going to get punched in the face for this one day, but there's a lot of vanity.
No,
but there's nothing wrong with that.
No,
like there's nothing, we're not saying it's bad. It's just like the way it can warp your mentality is bad. That's what I'm saying.
And I think for the most part too, there's a big understanding that vanity and aesthetics, no, we don't mean that in a negative way when we say that. And to me, it's like kind of, if you take that in a negative sense, that's just kind of more your perception, because there is multifaceted to fitness. It's like multifaceted surface. Like it's not just about being healthy. Like yes, I want to be healthy. And yes, of course I want the aesthetics that come with it. I, I like, that's not what I'm going for. That's not what and like, that's what I started out going for until I realized, what's more important. But, that is something that's exciting to have. And there's nothing we need to change. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with working hard and being proud of what you've done, whatever that looks like. It doesn't matter what it looks like to anybody else. To you, I think that's super important.
Yeah, and it is like it's you have to. It's yeah. It's I might have like put my foot in my mouth way too early there, but
No, no, I agree.
it's
No, I think a lot of it is that I 100% agree. I know I was like, man, that sounds like I was really going against you. But
no, it was
I,
good.
I think there's like a really like, I think every one of us, maybe, hopefully, would relate to this. At there's some point in your journey, it's like everyone has that. Like for me, it was like I was all about vanity until I realized how important it was for my health.
Yeah,
Right? I mean, and some people are just in it for vanity, and that's okay too. But we're here to say there's other sides to it.
yeah, and I mean, like it just I actually honestly I have quite a few people that I know personally that were they got into it, they did the restrictive training, which there's nothing wrong with it, but there's a lot saying now where they're saying, like if it fits your macros, like counting your macros and tracking, like weighing your food. It's not necessarily that bad. Like I do it, I follow a fitness plan, but the thing is my idea around it all changed. Like Brandy was saying, the vanity in the beginning, it was all because I was just confused. And now I have a better knowing and a better sense. And I eat to fuel my body and I move my body to keep me healthy and keep me strong. So like it's all about that epiphany moment for you. And there's so many good people in the industry. So like there's so many of them, and like a lot of my friends went, they did all of this, the restrictive dieting, they did the shows, they competed, they got their pro cards, and a lot of them are actually coming out of that. And to watch them go so hard in the beginning and then kind of hit a stop and then completely flip it and just be like, I eat to nourish, you know what I mean? Like it's magical. And it's like everybody has each to each their own. If competition's your thing, do that shit. Like fuck yeah. But have a good mentality around it.
Oh,
That's kind of all I want to really, that's more of what I was getting at. Because I know so many great people in the industry, like
oh, for
great.
sure.
And I don't want to knock it, but it's just like it's that negative mentality, and it can eat you up. And I've seen it destroy a lot of people where they don't think they're good enough, or they're not big enough, or it's never good enough. And it's like that, it's not bad, but it's about balance.
Yes. And I
You
think
don't
that's
want to go too far over.
no, and I think we just kind of had this conversation of the same idea before where it's like you balance on the line. We'll talk about, like, for an example, like with weed, there's a recreational
Yes.
side to it and there's a medicinal side to it, right? So I think everyone can attest that anything that you do that makes you feel good, or any any form of, I don't know, I'm just going to blanket say most things you can treat negatively or positively, and they can have negative or positive effects on you just depending on how you look at it, right? If you are going after to look good and you like the vanity of it, that's great. But if you hold your worth to that and only that, that's going to have negative impacts on you inside and subconsciously that you don't even know until years. And then all of a sudden, here you are. Now you have body image issues,
Yeah.
and you're so far gone in your brain, that you're worthless because you don't look a certain way. And it's so sad because then you spend, and I'll say it for myself, you spend most of your, let's just say, like, best years hating yourself, hating your body. Society's told you to, and even if you've embraced it, then all of a sudden you're that fucking skinny bitch that likes her body, whatever. And so you're tossed back and forth, and meanwhile all of a sudden now you're 34 and it's fine, I'm fine with things. But it was just like, I look back and I was like, oh my god, you were so beautiful and like everything was great, like why on earth? And it's so frustrating. And it's just that in that moment, it's where it's like, if I could have just looked at the goodness of fitness and took care of my body, then that naturally would have made me, more, whatever it was that I feel like I'm lacking now, it would have supported me then. You know what I mean? Like have like younger looking skin, let's just say, or whatever it is. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, totally. And you're still beautiful, just so you know.
Thank you. I know, but you know what I mean? Back to this like body image
No,
thing though.
I
And
know
we're
completely.
in that, that I was just before we got on, I was just like, oh, this is shitty lighting. And I could see like all the, let's say, like I'm just being real. I can see all the wrinkles and like, it's fine. I've got still my acne a little bit. And then it was just like, immediately I was like, oh, I just like, oh, filter would make it look better. I'm like, fuck, I hate that. And it's the same, like, I think for me, like I've worked a lot towards my physical body and I'm still a lot behind in my like facial features when it comes to that, what we talked about in the other episode. But I feel a lot better when it comes to my body image and fitness. But like, I think it always existed and it just amplified when I got into the industry. I don't know about you.
No, yeah. I just never thought, well, there were, so growing up, yeah, we could go back to our episode before when we talked about body image. Like as I didn't work out, but I did do sports, like I did judo. So, um, that took up pretty much a lot of my time. So I was just kind of always fit in a way. Like I never saw my body to be an issue until after high school. Because I had friends like I had a really good girlfriend who did gymnastics from pretty much like the time she could walk till grade 12, and she had a crazy body, like the craziest body. And I remember one time my dad was just like, he kind of made a comment about it. He's like, what did he say? He was something about how, we were talking about how her figure was. And my dad was like, yeah, no, he's like, trust me, all the girls are going to want to look like that when they're about 30. And I was like, what? I just didn't get it because I just thought she was beautiful and magnificent. Like she just had such beautiful physique. Like,
Yeah.
so it didn't, yeah, I don't know. It didn't start out bad, but then it got really stupid for a long time. Like I abused my body and my mind. Like I just put myself through so much unnecessary torture. Because I look back, man, after having a child and he's 5, I look back at the time when I thought that I wasn't fit enough,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm fucking angry. I'm like,
Yes.
are such a silly bitch, you know?
No,
You
that's what
were
I'm saying.
perfect.
Yes. And you like, you little angel, you fucking angel face baby. Why did I ever treat you so terribly? I am so fucking sorry. So all of you that have done that, go find a picture of you 10, 5, 10 to 15 years ago and go fucking tell that little one, sorry. You didn't mean it.
Yeah, that you love
You didn't.
yourself.
And you love
Yeah,
yourself.
like it's yeah. So for everyone listening, like if we haven't lost you or anything yet, because
We
we're
came in hot this episode.
kind of a little hot, but like it's
Okay,
true,
we
and
agree.
it's our experience, right? Like
Yes.
this is, but also what we've witnessed happen to a lot of people that we know, and on the
Totally.
other side of it, we know a lot of great people in the industry. So it's just like
It's a
there's just
balance of everything and how you abuse it. So we have a poll coming for you guys as per usual. It was really great. I got a text message pre-warning that there was going to be some hot some hot energy in there, so I'm excited about that. But I was just kind of reading because I wanted to get a little bit more. I always try to feel like we want to be knowledgeable, but in the same sense, it's more important than you guys hear our experiences. But I thought I was stumbling across these things about body image, and I came across it just to kind of give a little bit more of a clear understanding. It's the unhealthy or negative body images, believing your body isn't good enough, thinking that you look too fat, feeling like you're not pretty enough or muscular enough, believing that your looks determine your value as a person. There are multiple factors that can have an effect on your self esteem. Your childhood society, the media, and people in your life can all add and take away from how you feel about yourself. Studies have shown that people who have an unhealthy self esteem are more likely to experience fatigue, anxiety, and depression. Contributors of negative body image. Growing up in a household where emphasis is placed on appearance of a particular ideal body size or shape, parents or other family members experiencing body dissatisfaction and engaging in dieting and weight control behaviors, a cultural tendency to judge people by their appearance. So I thought that was really interesting because we didn't really talk about that really in our first one as much as like a lot of this has to do with like your surroundings and stuff that's been ingrained in your head for longer than you can even imagine.
I have to say something
Do it.
really quickly about it
This
because
is
it's
our
so
podcast.
on
You
point
fucking
about
do
it.
it. Do it.
Where did it go? Give me 1 second.
Oh, okay. I thought you had it like out of your brain. I'm like, okay, I'll shut the fuck up now. Here it
Nope.
is.
Here it is. It's so what you were just saying, how we didn't talk about this before. This is something I heard in class today, and it's I'm gonna try to say his name and I might butcher it, but he says genetics loads the gun, your environment pulls the trigger.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Nice.
Right? Like
Not
how
nice, but yeah,
but
but nice.
it just puts a good it ties
Yes.
the it makes it a good image. Like you just
Yes.
understand it somehow by the way the words are formulated.
Yeah, and I love that. I also read something today. It was kind of about the same thing. Like you're not responsible for the patterns that were created in your childhood and your traumas, but you're responsible for taking care of it as an adult. Like, oh
100%
shit, I'm getting called out. Fuck.
accountability.
How did it know? It knows. Fuck you, Siri. Quit listening, bitch.
Ah, fuck you, Bill Gates. Just
Yeah. So I thought that was kind of interesting because I think for myself, and I've said this before, especially as a child, I think for my mom, she was very insecure. Again, she was at her age. She also, like, when she was younger, she had big boobs. Like, her boobs came, I don't know what the fuck happened over here. Okay. My mom got all the boobs in her whole entire for the rest of time. And there's that, Lisa. Just kidding. Love you, mom. And so for her, she got attention right away about that, right? And she wasn't comfortable. So that immediately strikes some like insecurities in her and other things. And that just, unknowingly so bled into me. And here I'm looking at my mom thinking, and knowing she's so beautiful and she's not feeling that way about herself. And it was just like, hey. So I was like, okay, well then I must not. And that, that just starts without you even knowing. Or, when I was younger, if I'd come home sometimes, and I don't obviously don't hold any blame to my parents. How would we ever think about that? But it was like if I got teased, like sometimes the answer would be like, oh, it's because you're pretty and she's jealous or something like that. Like, and I
yep.
get that because that was probably I hate to say that, maybe true. I don't know. I didn't think that, but then it was like, then immediately I didn't,
Projection.
yeah, and I didn't want to have that attention or be associated with that because I was like, oh, other girls are going to hate me. And this is very important to my body image. And uh, I was going back and forth about saying this, but I think it's important to be truthful. Um, as much as everybody wants to, and I got slammed down the other day when I was blown away with something called thin privilege, and I know that's a really hot topic word, and I can't imagine what other people can go through in their lives, and I'm truly sorry if you've had struggles, um, but I have had I've been programmed or maybe meant to believe to hate my body for its size because to some people it's the ideal body and I've hated it its whole entire life because other people have thought that that's something that's ideal. Meanwhile, I'm struggling deep down inside and still dislike it just as much as someone else looking at me that wants it hates their body, if that makes any sense. And it's
Yeah.
terrifying to say those things out loud because you know that other people go through other struggles and you feel terrible. And that's something that now I'm being told that I have a privilege to have in a sense, which I'm sure maybe I do. And I'm sorry if I'm being ignorant to it, but I've been told since I was like 12 years old to hate myself because of my looks and that my negative attention that I was getting was because of that. And then now being 34, looking back at all those years that that I hated myself for all that because of someone else's projection is very, very sad
Confusing. I just
and
want to say
confusing.
that's like a borderline toxic positivity. You are privileged to be thin.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked when I heard that the
That's
other
a
day.
little condescending, a little bit. Like, I mean, and to each their own, but like, that's like, I don't know.
It makes me
That's,
feel bad for people that, can't put on weight that and I was there at a certain point and I've worked really hard to gain, muscle and stuff. And that I've gotten so defensive when people call me thin or skinny for that reason. And it's just because like immediately if I'm associated with that, that means, oh, well, someone's going to fucking hate me about that. And like, but then,
yep,
and then in my head, I'm like, but I'm not because I have this like my own stuff. And then other people are telling me that I can't have those feelings because it's not as bad as theirs. And it's just so, I don't know what to think. I don't,
confusing. It's
it is. And at the
confusing.
same time, everyone's like, love your own body. It's like, okay, when I do,
Oh my God.
I hope I get love for this and not hated. So if you're listening to this episode, I hope I'm coming from a place of love. And I'm sorry if I have that privilege. I tell you, if you hate me because of my body, I've hated myself 10 times more because of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I hope we can change the conversation that everybody struggles with all of these things. Everyone's a valid in their own right, in their own experiences, and no one can really say here or there what's valid or not in your life and what you've gone through, you know? Like that's just like looking at any celebrity or any of those things and just assuming that they're happy and they have everything. I,
That's a good point.
that's just not the case, right? You know? So it's you can't look at every single model and just assume because they have the perfect body that
They
they're
don't have issues.
happy. They don't have issues and they don't have the most. And I believe Lexi was one that said that was one of her, you know, big things is that you think when you get to that size too that you're going to be on this happiness or that you know when you're skinny that's or whatever it is, whatever word you want to use or whatever your goal is, that's going to be happiness. But there's so much more around that. It's the journey, it's the growth, it's all that, not just the one piece of that. So yeah, just huh, that was actually more terrifying than the miscarriage one, if I'm being perfectly honest, but let's
You
carry
did
on.
good. You did
So
good.
7 tips for building a better body image as an adult. Show some appreciation. A good place to start is refocusing on your self-talk. Yes.
Hell
Tell
yes.
yourself. Tell yourself you're a bad bitch all the time. Don't like make it toxic where you're just like, yeah, you're a bad bitch and you can eat McDonald's 3 days a week, 7 days a week. Like, okay, there's got to be, you know, but
Yep.
take care of
Balance.
you. Record the positives. We've just fucking talked about this. Record the positives. Every little one. Even if it was simple as like answering your emails, write it down. You did it. Create little reminders. So I have reminders that go off on my phone 3 times a day. I have 3 of them, and then I change them up every month. And I just continually repeat those when they pop up, and I take a second and pop them up. Commit to doing things that make you feel good. Yeah, this is why we like working out. It makes me feel good. Occupy your mind. That's a good one. Shut down the comparison game. Whew. If someone knows how to do that, let me know.
Yeah, no shit.
Don't fear the mirror. This is something I think I said in a past episode that is something I'm working on. And feeling good at all sizes, which is super important too. Super important. You should, right? So I thought those were really, really good tips. Little things I pulled off the internet before we got into the poll, but I thought that was the first couple. I was like, oh wow, that was really relatable to me. And then the other one, I was like, oh, these are really good tips. Some of which I'm working really hard on. Some I'm good at. Balance.
Yeah, and I mean, like, kind of to go back to like I'm just still hung up on that fucking comment that got made to you that about thin privilege. Like, um, I think that there's a way that you can say things to people, like, you know, like what we're kind of saying right now. You want to love yourself in every stage that you're in because you don't know what stage that you're in that might be someone else's dream body. And I think that's something that we've already said. So it's just like, you just don't want to be toxic about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just, and I think we could just say like no comments on, you know, you're doing a good job, like awesome work, or you know, like I don't know. I just to decide blanketly that just what you see on someone's social media and Instagram and what they choose to share with you, just blanket statements who they are, and they just because they don't show their struggles. And I think I've said this multiple times, and I can't remember what kind of syndrome it is, but there's like something where it's like your audience, and I'm not saying this, you guys are like this, but like your audience, I know this from teaching, knows you better than you know them, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
here me and you are laying our whole lives out there for everyone to listen to, but equally so we have our guests for sure, they're fucking dope, we're learning so much about them, but our outside of that, our community, unless they reach out to us, we don't know them as much, you know. So there becomes this like bond that is amazing, but it's like kind of one-sided, you know. So it's like even though our guests would know us, they know us to what we share with them, you know what I mean?
Yep. No, for
So
sure. It's very vulnerable, but I kind of, you know, it's vulnerable in such a good way.
yeah, and we're good for that. We're good for that. But like for the most part, just because we didn't share it here, we didn't talk about it, doesn't mean like we're not going through it. So just again, just realizing just because, you know, it's not on social media doesn't mean it doesn't exist. But yeah, it's just kind of like I would never, I try not to. Okay, I'm not gonna say never. I'm not a perfect person. I've done this before. tons of times. I try not to judge other people's circumstances based on what I see in front of me, because
Yep.
I have gotten bad news and walked into the grocery store and started crying, but I don't normally do that. Uh, and I think parents can attribute that their kids are usually really good, except for the like 15 minutes you need to run inside their grocery store. Like upon first appearances or outside appearances, generally in all aspects and all topics, do not relate to anything. They don't hold
Yep.
your value. They don't hold, they're just your outside cover in that moment. And some of us have good covers in the moment. Some of us are falling apart and ratty and we need a refresh. Does any of this stoned shit make any sense? Should we just get to the polls and quit rambling?
Sure. Yeah, no, I think it makes sense. I think it's good. Like, I love the
Oh, good.
conversation.
Perfect. Excellent. Well, I have the polls up if you're ready, because I'm
I
actually
am.
excited to see what, not excited to see, but it was actually a lot more positive than I expected. So
Good.
I'm
No,
excited.
I'm ready for this. Okay, so our first one, guys, is has the fitness industry positively or negatively affected your body image?
So the answers were positively with 6, negatively 2, both was 16. And I just kind of put an other box always just so that people can have a chance to say other, but that was 0 anyway. So it looks like it's leaning towards in the middle, obviously a lot more because we had 16 people saying both. So I thought that was kind of what I
Yeah.
expected, because that would be my answer as well.
Yeah, it was both for me too. Then the second one, how is fitness a part of your life?
So the first one was I work or worked in the fitness industry, which there was only 1. B was it's a part of my lifestyle, which was 15. Oh, sorry. Yeah. C was a bit of both, and there was 5. And then other was 2, but there's no answer to what that other was. Yeah. So for myself, I worked. I no longer work in the fitness industry. I don't know. I don't know if that ever dies. I think once you start counting music, that never leaves your mind. I think once you start making choreography, that never stops. But I'm
Yeah.
really not. So I guess I would be a bit of both, obviously, then. Um, and obviously, it's my life.
Yeah, no, I'm in a I'm it's pretty much just part of my life. I need to go. It's good for my body to move, but like the other reason I realize is like the gym people are just so chill.
Totally.
So, I mean, like that's kind of like your community in a sense. So, where you can just like be there just normal there. Everyone's there to work out. No one's there to fucking ride your ass or be a douche or anything like that. So,
Yeah.
like
And it's your
it's one
own
place I like to go.
It's your own time. It's your own space. It's a good energy. I'm probably going to go back soon. I have my own gym vibe at home now with the cat. So at least,
Yeah, no, and it
back
works and like
there.
I love it. I mean, like essentially we have a great home gym too. I just like it's something about the environment. I push myself more.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And you know what? And like you said, though, this made this year really, I forgot to mention that to me. I think it really pulled out the true athlete in a lot of people. It was kind of like, are you in it for the strength and the like heart, or like, where is the inner athlete inside of you? What are you going to do to make up for not having the gym? You know what I mean?
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
Even though I understand that when it comes to volume for some, especially some of the guys and like girls that heavy lift, I mean, it's almost impossible unless you have a great gym at home. That being said, I think, like you said, it really reframed everyone's mind, and for me, made me really grateful. And now I got so used to working at home that the motivation's good, and we'll see how things go coming up here. But with my work schedule, I just rather look like, not even just like I care what I look like, but I'd rather just walk downstairs and work out, or else I'll find every excuse. It's so funny. I was like, I'll never work out at home. And then the pandemic happened. I'm like,
I'm fucking working out at home.
yeah. I was like, I don't have to even like change if I don't want to. Like,
I can wear my booty shorts in
yeah,
my home gym.
exactly. And that's like, oh, dinner. Oh, okay. I'll put that on and then I'll go finish this set. Like, awesome. I love it.
No, that's amazing.
But I
Yeah.
miss the gym. I miss the gym.
Yeah, no, fair. And it's a vibe. So like it's yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how this all pans out, but I'm squirreling. Uh number 3, has anyone ever made a comment about your body in the fitness space?
So the first one was yes, lots, which had 10. A few comments, which was 7, and never was 8. So more often than not, there was comments that had been made about
Hmm,
the
not surprising.
Not surprising at all, except for actually the you'll be surprised though coming up.
Okay, perfect. Number 4. Uh, if you said any form of yes, was it more positive comments or negative comments?
So 73% said positive and
Awesome.
27 said negative. So less negative. So 11 people voted for positive and 4 for negative.
That's pretty dope. Honestly, like when I started working out just before the pandemic happened, and everything, I was working out in one gym, then everything shut down and I started out working out in another gym, and it's like a well-known bodybuilder gym, and I was super nervous to go. That gym changed my entire outlook on everything. The
Okay.
people in that gym, the mindsets, the niceness, the compassion, like unmatchable. And it was like, this is how people are. Holy shit. Just go into the gym and, do your own thing and compliment you or like it's just, I don't know, it shifted my mentality. So I was like so appreciative about that. Like the positive energy from the people around there was like, okay, this is it. I'm home.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference.
It really
Yeah.
does. And just to come out of your head too, like, I wonder, like, I'm curious. I feel like this is a yes for you, but like, did you ever like get ever really anxious in the gym? Like, I
Oh
always get super anxious and I
God.
feel like people are watching me and
Oh,
I just fucks me up.
yeah, and then I'm like, okay, you fucking stuck up bitch. Nobody cares about you. Like,
Right?
who do you think you are that anybody is watching? And then you like look up and then someone's looking at you. You're like, see, I fucking told you. Everyone's watching at you. They're judging you. They know what you're doing. They're telling you. And you know what? Honestly, like I do have some like uh PTSD from past places that I've worked out where there just wasn't a great environment. So like
Yeah,
for
that me
me,
too.
I've had I don't keep saying PTSD. It's not that big. Like I'm making it sound way worse, but there was a lot of like bad patterns that were developed and insecurities and boundaries pushed in certain places. So it just kind of made me second guess myself all the time, and it was just it's still to this day a pattern that I struggle to let go of. And um, yeah, so for me it's like I've had positive comments, absolutely tons. I get so much love, equally so that I had shade, and this has come from, and we'll get to this down the road, but like people close to me and strangers. So like yeah, I've had tons of comments, yes, and I'm right down the middle. It's been equally good and equally, so I'm like, what the fuck are you commenting on this for? But then I put myself in that space and online and in a fitness position, right? So
Yeah.
you kind of have to like know that you're never going to make anybody happy and it's going to happen. So
Yeah, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't.
exactly. In the same post, like I've been called fat and skinny in the same fucking day. So like at what point, like it's everyone's perception. What perception matters is yours.
Yes. All right. So, 5, what are some of the negatives you see towards body image in the fitness industry?
So this one, there was so many people using steroids as an unrealistic standard for people to be natural.
Hmm.
Objectifying your body, being taught to have a guilt when you have a treat or skip a workout. Fair.
Yep.
No excuses, no days off. We have the same 24 hours. Shut the fuck up. You're toxic. Yes.
Yeah.
Season said heat was coming in. And then, oh my God, how many characters do I get? So we didn't have enough time to finish everything. Lots of articles say there's a lot of photoshopping going on, I think. And that's fair too. I think, we'll get to what our answers are for this, but yeah, those are all very everyone has, to me it's like everyone has valid answers because everyone has a different reality and a different knowledge base and a different story. So it's like everyone to me is valid in seeing all of those things for themselves, even if that might not be the opinion of others. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. Sorry, I was looking at it and it looked kind of weird, just the way I was reading it. The next one, have you ever had a coach, mentor, or gym friend make a comment about your body that you didn't love?
So let's look at percentage. So 70% said yes and 30% said no. So 14 people said yes, they've had someone close to them um comment about their body image that they didn't love. So not in a positive light. And I also, the reason why I put that, because it's like, for me, I don't really care what random strangers say about me on the internet. Like I used to, I don't anymore. It's the people that are around you that either say back ass compliments or like, that they don't mean
Mm-hmm.
it. That's the
Yeah.
ones, like, or just straight up harsh ones to your face. Like, it's like, oh, you should have Botox. Oh, you should get a boob job. No, I don't have any reason to get those things. I'm not judging those that do that. If that's what makes you feel good and you have informed consent, I'm all for doing whatever you feel is good is for your body, your choice, honestly. But to tell somebody else that they need those things is just the most whack shit I've ever been a part of in my life, and it just needs to stop.
Yeah, I would never like so yeah, being that's that's a good one. Yeah. So yeah, I've had fillers, and like the funny thing is I got them for the stupidest reason. I'm going to tell you what it was. Um Guys at work kept telling me that I looked tired, and I was just fucking sick of it. So I went and I was like, I did it, and then it didn't really I didn't really notice the difference.
Mm.
And now, like a whole year later, I'm just like, I don't think I'm going to for a while because like I have a different perception of myself now.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I was, but yeah, like for the love of God, don't fucking get Botox or anything in your face because some stupid ass comment someone makes to you. Like,
Yes,
take
if it
take your
makes you
time and think about it.
yeah, and if it makes you feel good, I'm just about informed consent. I know a lot of people know I have
Hmm.
certain stances about things, and it's not that I'm against or for, I'm for informed. And for
Yep.
me, when I was considering all of these things, I didn't get informed that by the people that would have been doing that, and that was a big red flag to me. And then I looked into things deeper. So, I'm not I just want to make, like you said, don't do it for somebody else's standard. If that's what's honestly going to make you feel better, for sure. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I've got tattoos, like I've got piercings. I absolutely fully understand that. Did I research my tattoos? Absolutely not. Did I research
No.
if it was okay for me? Absolutely not. Do I regret that? 110%. But we're here now. So my lesson is that before I ever do anything, I have to make sure that I'm doing it for the right reasons. A lot of my tattoos were for the right reasons. A lot of them were for the best reasons. So for me, I know that if I was to go do those things, I would be doing them because someone told me I should do them because of my insecurity, not because I actually deep down feel like it's going to make myself feel better personally. Personally.
Yeah.
And
No.
I have the type of body that rejects literally everything. So for me, when I read up on things and the adverse effects, my body is definitely one of the type that does weird shit like that. So unfortunately, that is not a risk for myself that I want to put in there. I just need to learn to just let it go. Because I would be the person that would say, for example, get like breast implants and then get sick from them and have to take them out like 3 days later. That would just be how my body reacts. Like I literally got earrings in one time when I was a baby, and my whole entire ears like grew over it within like 24 hours.
Whoa.
Yeah, like my body is wild about stuff like that. So that's a
Fair.
personal choice for me. And yeah, for a long fucking time, I projected onto other people, and I'm truly sorry for that. But I know for me, I would have gotten them for the wrong reasons, and that's just my truth. So
Yeah.
what we're saying, and the reason why is because I was always told, well, you had small boobs, just get a boob job, and it's just like it's not as easy as that. Okay, who wants to pay for them?
Yeah.
Where's my money?
Offers anyone?
Offers anyone? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So it's like, and then people feel okay. We got way off topic there on the but yeah, that was just like my feelings about that, about someone having a comment that was just like, whoa. Thank you, I guess, because maybe yours made you feel so good, and I'm so happy for you. But that doesn't necessarily mean that that's gonna be for me, and I just don't think that should be a comment. Anyways, for
Was
those that
there, yeah, were there some people that shared
have
anything
felt
that
it,
their comments? Yeah.
yeah,
Like, feel free how to if yes, feel free to share below.
yeah. So no one shared the comments, but they shared how to deal with it. So usually
Awesome.
just say thank you and compliment them back. But I always feel awkward about it. Um, so if in prep, ignore everyone but coach. If not, passive aggressive Instagram posts. Those are always the best. Um, Depends who it came from. Normally, I just shrug it off and move on. And then another one said they were devastated. And honestly, I was a little devastated myself when I kind of got that comment. I was like, oh, well, I can't afford $10,000, so that sucks.
Fuck yeah. No,
I
like,
never had stuffing our bra like grade 7. Cool.
Dude, did you ever use the water or like water balloons or balloons?
No, but I definitely would wear like a triple like push-up bra under my sports bra at the gym to make it even look like I had boobs. And like, yeah, I'm bummed fitness took any boob that I have. So now when I wear a sports bra, I'm like, yeah. But you know, like honestly, it's okay. And good for the women that do that too. Like I wish I had the balls. I wish I had the body. Sorry if I projected my jealousy against you. That being said, I'm really also proud to embrace what I naturally have and help other women get on that journey as well. Like we can all equally exist and be beautiful and love each other and respect each other in the same, even if our choices aren't the same,
Yes, we can.
right? And we're learning
Um,
that in many aspects.
all the
we,
aspects.
we won't say what will not be named because one day we want to be monetized, and if we say the clap or not, we won't get any money.
Yeah, we won't. So, number 8 then
Yeah.
would be what are some positives you see for body image in the fitness industry?
Being healthy in general should make you feel more confident. Yes, it totally does. When healthy comes first, it vastly improves your body image, but health needs to be the focus.
Yeah.
Create good habits, work ethic, creating a healthy lifestyle, sometimes, developing self discipline, self confidence, body awareness, appreciation for your abilities. That's a big one, too. I see all sizes getting into the industry, and you get to see true progress. Progress is progress. Yes, I think there's a lot of people coming to the table, and I think that was huge in the pandemic, whereas a lot of people got thrown off. But I think a lot of people too, being inside and not being able to get out and do things, needed to start moving, and I think that probably really gave people the opportunity to, especially when you're new, start at home.
Yeah, exactly. It did. It changed a lot for a lot of people. Um, going to my gym now, I am surrounded by girls who have like and again, I don't want to like, this is me. This is how I witness them, but they just have these goddess bodies. And I've talked to a few of them and I'm just just like in awe. And I'm like, it's awesome now because it used to make me jealous, but now I'm just like, I see that and I'm like, damn, she worked hard for that. Like I can work hard too. I know what I'm capable of, and it doesn't take away from my worth.
Yes.
But some of the girls have been like, when I talk to them and I compliment them, they're like, thank you so much. I mean, like I got in the best shape of my life during COVID, and I'm just like, fuck yeah, you did. Like,
Yeah. It's inspiration.
flex it, queen.
Yeah. And now you feel in a space where you're like, that's motivating to you instead of, what you would feel, or me too, would feel like,
Comparing.
wait, yeah, comparing and taking away. And we're all, I don't fucking care who you are. I'm sure like there's a lot of people that are better at it, but we've all done it or do it at some point. It's just human nature. It sucks, but it's true. And you just have to really work on finding your, being really appreciative and grateful for the unique human fucking badass that you are, right?
Yeah, totally. And then, so was that it for our
There was just one
positives?
last that yeah, one last of the poll is any advice for people struggling with their body image. So some of the advice was don't work out for other people's approval, don't compare yourself to others, you don't see all sides. Bam. You don't need to be exceptional, you just need to be consistent. Life happens. Get out of it until you get your head right straight up. This is true. And don't compare yourself. Yes, it's all of
Yes.
it is like a mind. A lot of it people forget. As much as it brings a positive to your mentality, it could easily take a mental negative turn. And so I agree, it's super important if you are way too emotionally driven by your fitness journey and it's not your bread and butter. Step back for a bit, reset, and then come back in. Because I've been there so many times where I've had to put myself in a corner and be like, you need to fucking back off a little bit. You're
Yeah.
getting silly.
You're getting silly.
Yeah. Okay. All right. You ready to switch over to us?
I am.
Okay.